Good morning, beloveds. So the definition of self-care. No, that's not what I want. The definition of self-care is obvious. It is caring for the self. But it is mid-July. It's hot. Well, here in Texas. And it is in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm going to suggest 3 things for self-care, which is sleep, go to bed at a reasonable time, get up at a reasonable time, make sure that your bedroom is comfortable so that you get good sleep, drink lots of water. I'm not, and tea and all of that counts too, but drink lots of just actual good water. If you need to add a little something like lemon, to make it taste good, go for it, but drink plenty of water. And eat good food. Like, it's summertime right now. There should be fruits and vegetables in the grocery stores. Find some interesting recipes and do that. Those 3 things will go a long way to helping support you through what's going on right now. And then after that is when you do things like read good books, watch movies that uplift you, reach out and have those conversations with friends. But, it starts with sleep, water, and good food. And when I say good food, I did say fruits and veggies, but I'm also going to say, hey, you know what? If you really wanted to try making a chocolate torte, because that's just the most decadent, go for it. Eat something that tastes good and feels good occasionally too. Like, feed your soul in that way as well. Yeah, self-care. I've had 2 nights in a row where I've gotten really good sleep and I feel a whole lot better. I know it's Thursday and it's been kind of a tough week, so I just thought I would share with you self-care. Just my idea. All right. It is July 16th. It is Thursday. Our title today is I Am Endowed with the Perfection of God. Okay, and our Bible quote is, Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And that is Matthew 5:48. Okay. Oh, and apparently that is a Jesus quote. Because that's exactly how Ernest starts. When Jesus said, Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, he was telling us that there is a perfection at the center of all things, which recognized will spring into being. We must learn to identify ourselves with this perfection, to so accept it that it is real to us, and to so live that it may be expressed through us. Every organ, action, and function of our physical body is rooted in spiritual perfection, from which it draws its life. If this were not true, we could not be here. No matter how imperfect or painful or discordant the appearance may be, there is still an underlying perfection, an inner wholeness, a complete and perfect life, which is God. Therefore, I say to my physical body, Be ye perfect, because you already are perfect in the divine sight. There is one life. That life is God, and that life is your life now. This life circulates through you. It animates your whole being. You are one with its peace and wholeness. There is no inaction in this divine life. There is no stoppage or hindrance or obstruction to it. And whatever may seem to be the contrary is false. For I am identifying my physical body with the body of pure spirit. I am opening my mind as a channel for the realization of the divine presence. I affirm it and accept it. There is nothing in me that can deny or reject it, because God is perfect. I am perfect. Quietly, I affirm and reaffirm these simple statements until they sink into my consciousness and become a habit pattern of thought that is no longer rejected. With complete conviction, I accept the wholeness of spirit, and as I do so, I identify myself and everything I am with the harmony and the perfection and the wholeness of the life of God. All right. So the first thing that I am going to say is that there is a whole lot of baggage around the word perfect. I know, because I used to have a lot of baggage around the word perfect. And what I will tell you is what Jesse told me that helped me get past the word perfect. Perfect does not mean flawless. Perfect means whole. It means complete. It means everything is there. It does not mean that we're flawless. So when we say that we are perfect, we mean that we are whole, that we are complete, that we have everything. Not that we don't make mistakes, and not that we can't. So if you have any baggage around the perfect, if that definition helps you, please take it. Jesse gave that gift to me many years ago, and it helps so much with my baggage around the word perfect. So, just wanted to give you that before we go back through this. So, Jesus said, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Everything that you see and look around you is God. Therefore, it's whole. The whole experience. God is everything. Therefore, of course, God is perfect. He was telling us that there is a perfection at the center of all things, which recognized. There's a lot of commas in that sentence. Okay, so there's a perfection at the center of all things, which, recognized, will spring into being. That's what Dr. Goswami calls the bliss body. It's the perfect blueprint. It is God's idea of you. And so when you are having a challenge, I guess we'll put it that way. When you are having a challenge, what you do is you reach for the bliss body. You reach for the perfect blueprint. You go, this is God's idea of me. Not the world's idea of me, but God's idea of me. And that perfect blueprint is what we are remodeling our body on, or whatever it is that we're working on. Okay. So we must learn to identify ourselves with this perfection, we must learn to identify ourselves with this bliss body, this idea of God, of spirit, that spirit has of us, not what the world tells us we are. So to accept it as real to us, and to so live that it may be expressed through us. This would be what we would call live as if. Because if we live as if, it becomes a habit, and then suddenly it is. Every organ, action, and function of our physical body is rooted in spiritual perfection. There is a perfect idea, a bliss body. And I keep using that word because I like the idea of it. Because I like the idea of bliss. Bliss body. So I have a bliss liver and a bliss lungs and a bliss heart. And you get the idea. Bliss kidneys. Okay, so perfection, from which it draws life. If this were not true, we would not be here. So where does life come from? Life comes through spirit. Life comes through spirit as us. I think that was an awkward statement, but no matter how imperfect or painful or discordant the appearance may be, there is still an underlying perfection, an inner wholeness, a complete and perfect life, which is God. So that is what we are reaching for. We are reaching through the appearance with little a into the reality with the big R. We are reaching for the bliss body, and we all have one. All right. Therefore, I say to my physical body, so now we're into our power statements. Therefore, I say to my physical body, be ye perfect, because you are already perfect in the divine sight. God sees nothing wrong. God holds the perfect blueprint. So we reach for that blueprint and model ourselves on that blueprint. This life, capital L, circulates through you. Spirit circulates through you. Always. God is always within you. There is nowhere that God is not. It animates your whole being. So what are you animating it with? Love, joy, gratitude, happiness. Those are very healing emotions. So when you are working on an appearance, then those would be the things to focus on. Which makes me think, okay, so then, those days that my knees are really bothering me, I should be thanking my knees for carrying me around. Being grateful to my knees for doing their job. I'm going to try that. Let's see. It animates your whole being. You are one with its peace and wholeness. There is no inaction in this divine life. God is always in motion. There is no stoppage or hindrance or obstruction to it. Only what we ourselves put in the way. And whatever may seem to be contrary is false. For I am identifying my physical body with the body of pure spirit. I am identifying my body with spirit. I am identifying with the bliss body. I am going back to my perfect blueprint, the bliss body. I am opening my mind as a channel for the realization of the divine presence. Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. I am conscious of spirit within me. I affirm it and accept it. There is nothing in me that can deny or reject it. Okay, so that's my power statement there. I am stating there is nothing within me that can deny or reject the bliss body, the perfection of spirit within me, the divine presence within me. Because God is perfect. God is whole. Because God is perfect, I am perfect. Quietly, which I'm not doing right now, but okay. Quietly, I affirm and reaffirm these simple statements until they sink into my consciousness and become a habit pattern of thought that is no longer rejected. It takes 21 days to make a habit. Are you willing to quietly affirm your bliss body for 21 days and see the changes it will make? With complete conviction, I accept the wholeness of spirit, and as I do, so I identify myself and everything I am with harmony and the perfection and the wholeness of the life of God. So you heard that there is one life, that life is God, that life is your life now, that Jesse always opens treatments with, and probably if you walk into any Science of Mind center anywhere, they're going to start something with that phrase. And there it is, right there. I mean, it's not the only place he says it, but it's just in your face today. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to affirm and accept the divine presence in your life. And the perfection of God is the perfection of you. I mean, look yourself in the mirror and say, because God is perfect, I am perfect. Try it for 21 days. All right. So, I started off with self-care. Now I'm going to end with reminding you to do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, do something loving for yourself today. Do what you need to do to make it fantastic, wonderful, all those other words. And, get some fresh air, get some fresh perspective. Open the window to your soul and breathe in. And get some movement in. Dance with spirit. Sing with spirit. Run with spirit. Hop, skip, and jump with spirit. Be as a small child with spirit. Trust and know. Because you are truly a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. And you have a blueprint in spirit. You have a bliss body in spirit. Reach for that. Not who the world tells you you are. All right, beloveds, I am moving on into my day. Reverend David will be on sometime around 5. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Have a fantastic day. And please, if you are in the Houston area, drink plenty of water. It's going to be 98 again today. Bye, beloveds.